morning, everyone. So happy to be here in person for a change.
Yes, Christa, we're delighted to be back here again at the Independent Hotel Show 2022, where all those years go. And today we're going to be ready to share some information around driving bookings and getting your guests coming back time after time.
So very few positives came out of the pandemic, but one thing that really did stand out was this amazing development in technology. And we think we're so far ahead by about 7 years, long before anybody actually heard about a lateral flow test.
That's true, Christa, and the good news is that much of this newly developed tech and automation of tasks really saves everyone here a great deal of time. Time that then can be better spent servicing and satisfying your guests and hoping, of course, that they come back for repeat stays into the future. It also means as well that you have time to look after yourselves, especially if you're running your businesses on your own, and also spend some time dedicating training time and developing your staff as well. So we all know that invigorated and empowered staff mean a greater guest experience and wanting guests to come back time and time again.
So Lee and I are going to take you through the 4 steps of the customer journey as we see it. The look and book phase, the check-in and pre-arrival, and then during the customer stay, and then post-arrival and check-out. So, and of course, we're going to be talking about all the techie bits in between.
And of course, the adoption of technology within your business as well should ultimately get you more repeat guests, and of course, those well-deserved 5-star reviews as well. So without further ado, let's kick off and look at the look and book stage.
Images, images, images. So how do your customers and guests find you? It's either going to be on your website or on the online travel agencies, the OTAs. And there are 4 things I just want to briefly point out. And one of those is that, yes, a picture paints 1,000 words. We've all heard that before. But the key thing here is that it's you really get a few seconds to make that very first impression. So we really recommend having professional photography done. And that really help you stand out with all of those OTAs, with all those competitors on a page. And in fact, there was some electromyography testing done by Expedia. And they actually said, well, if you take a picture of across a bed, through a window and onto this amazing vista, customers absolutely love that. And then we also did our own testing. And we actually found that when you have a picture of your bedroom or whatever suite that you're trying to promote, if you put a picture of your bathroom facilities next to that, customers absolutely love that as well. So back to the techie part, and while we're here. So this is all about, okay, so now you've got all these amazing images, you've probably spent a fortune getting this photography done. And imagine if you then want to upgrade with seasonal pictures as well. So what you don't want to do is put all of these stunning images on your website and then have to upload this on however many websites, OTA sites you've got. It could be, 6, 8, 12, how many ever OTAs. It takes a really long time and can be quite painful to do. So we really recommend that you choose a channel manager that doesn't just update rates and availability at a click of a button. You really want to think of a channel manager that lets you update images with a click of a button as well.
And to use a relevant cliche here and talking about images as Christa was, content really is king. So not only taking care of everything to do with the imagery, but also the engaging, welcoming descriptions that you know in your property will drive delight in future guests. Making sure that you're highlighting everything that the property has, your local facilities, your own in-house amenities as well. Highlighting any kind of local activities in the particular area as well, and where people may be able to pre-book other events or other activities that expand the enjoyment of their stay. Also highlighting your own special offers and packages is really important as well, and enabling guests to book directly with you also. And I think you can see up on the screen there, we've got an example of one of our customers, Abbott's Grange, who was taking the part about adding those extras and benefits to the room. In their booking pages, they're offering the ability to book a Cotswold cream tea for 2 and roses on the bed as well. So very, very important to add extra add-ons that can drive revenue. And like images, it's important as well that consistency of content is available everywhere that people have a chance to look. And of course as well with images, if things change periodically and you want to update things, it's important as well to keep updating that content, be it imagery or be it written content as well. Not all channel managers, as Christa said, do happen to have the ability to update in real time and across lots of other different OTAs. So it's important to use best-in-class channel managers. eviivo Suite, where we are more concerned about, helps to do that in one click, ensuring that consistent content is available all across your own website and all of the online travel agencies that you do work with in just one click.
So your guest has spent hours looking for that perfect accommodation. They've gone onto countless number of websites that discuss with family and friends exactly what the perfect holiday is going to be, only to find, hold on, you don't have that web secure symbol at the top right-hand corner of your domain name, and I don't want to fill in my personal details into this, and you lose that customer. What an absolute waste. So this is something that eviivo can really help out with. We provide a free website service that comes with the eviivo Suite as a standard package. And of course, it comes with that secure website symbol. And if you already have a stunning website, we've got an amazing plugin that you can literally take 2 minutes to set it up and you're done, ready to go. So that's the secure website symbol. If we talk about the actual PCI compliance, level 1 compliance, this is absolutely crucial for online payments. So without it, I wouldn't feel very comfortable, putting my payment details in an online system. And there's been a massive surge of online guests wanting to pay online by about 453%. I mean, it's ridiculous. So that's all fantastic, but of course, to the same point, the banks have turned around and said, hey, hold on, I want to look after and protect my customers as well. So they implemented two-factor authentication. They've got 3D secure payments. They're doing the works. And what does that mean for accommodation providers? Yep, a whole bunch of manual effort if you don't have a payment manager that does this automatically. And so this is so crucial. And that's why we have a pre-formatted email. This is so cool. A pre-formatted email that can be automatically set up, that you can ask your guest to pay at any stage and whatever type of payment that you want via an email. And this can be 1, 2, 3-tier deposits that you're asking for. It could be housekeeping costs, damage deposit, whatever it is, you can send this amazing email, and you could just have to sit back and do nothing because you've pre-programmed the system to do this all for you. That's one thing. The other thing to look out for in terms of a payment manager is pre-authorization of credit cards. Absolutely crucial. The last thing you want to be doing when you're so busy running off your feet is, oh, I've got a card decline, oh, I've got another card decline. Forget it. So your payment manager really needs to sort this out for you. And eviivo, just to say, has been trusted to process over £250 million worth of credit cards transactions globally per annum. It's amazing.
Great, so just moving on to the next part of that look and book phase now, which is all around making sure your website, your own website, is fit for purpose. So all the previous elements retain their level of importance, and that obviously includes displaying your imagery and your content, but making sure that your website is easily viewable and easily bookable is very, very important as well. Stats vary, of course, depending on which source you look at the data, but there is some key call-outs there from some research done by Google. None more so than 70% of research now is now done on mobile devices, and 45%, so nearly half of travellers now are keen and able and willing to research, book, and plan their stays using just their mobile phone. And we just sort of imagine the scenario then of like mobile or responsive websites not being in place when guests are looking to book your property. When we talk about mobile responsive, we talk about the ability to not have to kind of pinch and expand your website on mobile phones, on iPads, making sure that it renders well, and the customer journey on those mobile devices is just as good as if people were looking at a full desktop screen or anything like that as well. So important as well that if you think of the scenario, you're out with a bunch of friends, You'll talk about your brilliant stay at a previous property. You guys will do some mutual research together, but actually that research is then done on a website that's found that's not mobile responsive, and kind of the journey is hard to fathom. And then next morning you wake up, you want to go ahead and book, and actually that journey or that experience was not quite what you expected it to be. So really important to check. You can do a simple free test just on Google to make sure that your website is and your booking pages are mobile responsive. And obviously that means you're going to get some crucial lookers and bookers deciding to make decisions on your on their mobile platforms as well as on their desktops.
Thanks. A little bit of light relief. Be careful with your descriptions when you say to your customers you are allowed to bring any pet. Some do take it a little bit too literally. Lee?
Okay, so into the next stage now before guests arrive, and it's really important, obviously, to build that level of rapport. And the period up to people's arrival is clearly a period of excitement. They've committed to coming to stay with you, and it's a huge task to obviously get people interested and kind of encouraged to come and see you, come and interact with you before they stay. Good booking platforms will allow you to actually do now kind of bespoke pre-arrival emails, used for two things really. First of all, your ability to tell your guests around house rules and things that's important to know before they arrive, but also as well to get feedback from them as well, to understand if there's any kind of anniversaries or anything that they're sharing while they're staying with you as well. Just with a call out though on some research that we fed into on the Mail Online a few years ago as well. You can see there, not always requesting information up front is quite what you don't always get back the kind of feedback that you would like. In true Have I Got News For You styles there, petals arranged on the bed in a blank shape. I'll give you a clue. I've got one, Christa hasn't. So it's a real opportunity to build rapport with guests before they arrive. And of course, if that rapport is built up, guests are more committed and less likely to cancel or look elsewhere.
Thanks. So upsell. Imagine if you've got a stunning spa facility that you want to promote. What about a bit of champers on arrival, or a little bit of pre-dinner, pre-theatre excursions? Why don't you put that as part of your pre-booking when people are actually booking the accommodation? Put it as part of the package. It increases your revenue. It gets customers continuously excited, cannot wait to actually arrive at the premises. And it's just a fantastic thing to do. Of course, it's all automated as well via the emails.
Great. So moving on as well, still in that before arrival phase, settling balances is really important as well for a multitude of reasons. Touching back on what Christa said before around the PCI level 1 compliance and having a system that can actually process balance payments in a secure and secure PCI level 1 compliant manner. And it also helps as well to flag if there are any issues or discrepancies with any balances that need to be taken care of before people arrive. And also as well, if balances can be taken in advance of stay, it makes the customer journey, the customer arrival experience much more seamless, much more smooth, and also can call out as well if there are any kind of problems with any balance payments before people arrive. That can be sorted out in advance as well. And just think a lot of the time, people will be making bookings for other people who are actually staying in their place, if you like. So again, taking the hassle out of that particular part of the journey is very much appreciated. So a much more relaxed experience for the guests when they arrive if they know everything has been paid all up front.
And you don't just need to email your customers. We've partnered with the likes of Duve and Guest Talk, who are also here at the show today, and they allow us to communicate with guests through SMSs or social media, which of course is all the rave these days. And it really just promotes the ability for you to put those cross and upsells into your emails to get the customers excited to come on board.
So just a slight comical interlude, a little word of warning here. Always be a bit careful before, when you're doing those kind of pre-arrival offers or invites. It's we have an example of a property of ours who looked like they wanted to move into kind of providing a pre-arrival experience for their customers by way of vodka and an unnamed energy drink. And it went down very well, so well in fact that, certainly a good alternative for them to the traditional bottle of fizz, but guests did get somewhat overexcited in their pre-booking levels, so hastily that option was removed. So just think exactly what it is you want to provide in advance.
So this is just such a heart-sinking image. Your guest has probably traveled quite a few hours to get to your accommodation, and they're really looking forward to it. They probably want to get that Chairperson on arrival and relax a little bit, only to find, whoa, there's a really long queue in front of me. So why not? Yes, you guessed it, automated check-in. And then you say, yes, Christa, thanks a lot, but they still need to pick up their key, duh. So we've partnered with the likes of Vikey, who provide us with remote booking, with remote lock availability, which, of course, is just amazing. And the online check-in through our eviivo customers has really shot through the roof. Everybody wants it, to the extent that there's a gentleman called Andy who runs an AA 5-star rated hotel in Southwold. He says this is the best thing he's ever done, and he saved lots of money on costs, staff costs.
Great. So the experience obviously then goes from the check-in process into the room and into the arrival experience in the actual room people are staying in. So tech developments in rooms are really, really important and really a critical consideration as well. Online and kind of downloadable interactive versions of the traditional in-room hotel or property guides are certainly coming to the fore much more often now. Certainly much more easy to maintain centrally than having to kind of update like paper folders that get dog-eared and messy and stuff over time. And also it means as well that that's an accessible that's accessible for the guests to look at very easily, pick out what they need to know, and more importantly as well, the chance for you again in partnership with your own business or other businesses to upsell other activities or things that might be bookable in the local area. That technology can go all sorts of directions, though. We've one of our properties in London, at the Roxy Hotel, has actually gone a step further in making sure people are fit and healthy during their stays as well, in putting pelotons into every room. Not sure that's something I'd necessarily wake up and want to do every morning. But tech doesn't also have to be kind of that bold as well. We were talking to some guests up in the Blackpool Hotel show earlier this year, where they've actually inputted old-style projectors and cinema seats and made the room as kind of like a film auditorium as well. And again, that's just using technology in a kind of quirky, kind of USP way to make sure people really feel at home and enjoy their stay. But again, with a slight nod again to that technical side or that technology involvement in their business as well.
Thanks. I would have obviously gone for the projector option.
Yeah, definitely projector,
anyway.
yeah.
So, of course, we've got all this amazing automation going on. So, yes, it should free up a lot of your time now. Meaning that, yes, you can go have a round of golf and all that good jazz, or do you want to spend that really creating much more amazing customer experiences? How about, have your little bit of garden party with your kids running around with baby llamas, so sweet, or, murder mystery on a monthly basis, and my favorite, gin tasting. And again, I'm going to say it, I know I'm repeating myself, but reduces cancellations, increases your revenue, and gives your customers more of a reason to get excited about the holiday.
Great. And then talking again about that enjoyable stay and sort of moving the focus a little bit away from the guests at this point, and this is moving on to kind of a staff focus as well now. Traditionally, obviously, we said from the top of the presentation that empowered and engaged staff are going to help your business overall. And potentially, if a lot of this technology is taking some of the work they used to do away, make sure that we're engaging staff in other aspects of your business as well, whether that's general online training, hospitality courses. Here at eviivo Suite, people who use that system, we have a eviivo University built into that to help train people how best to use the system. So just thinking outside the box around how you can make staff more engaged. It might be that your receptionist is a budding barista or cocktail maker and you just don't know it yet. So just make sure that there's a nod to that as well. Obviously further trained staff will obviously feel more invested in your business as well and obviously deliver great service to your guests. Also think about some time for yourselves as business owners, business managers as well. Also a time to sit back as well and use technology to understand a little bit more about how your business is operating as well. Whichever system you use, there's often a suite of reporting that can tell you a lot of information about your occupancy performance, what rates you're getting for your rooms, your revenue per available room. And you might want to look at kind of automating some of those changes as well. It's really important as well that you're cognizant of peak periods and times when your business is in demand and when potentially there are kind of lulls. And with kind of automation of rates and the strategy around that, we integrate fully with experts at Price Labs and Room Price Genie. Room Price Genie, I think, are here with us today at IHS. And they plug in two systems like eviivo Suite to help make dynamic changes to your rate structure. And they can pick out, of course, times when you should be selling higher, when there is peak demand, and also being cognizant as well of times where you may need a little bit more help and be a bit more flexible in your rates when there's periods or lull periods or there's more availability. So again, a lot of work you can do yourself through your own kind of reporting, but also looking at the integrations that can happen to automate some of those practices as well. And obviously, again, a great way to bring automation into your business.
And once again, a little light interlude. So this is also just a note to not oversell those extras. Thank you for posing for the picture, Lee.
Pleasure. Okay, and then into that journey stage that sometimes you might like, sometimes you don't, and certainly the guests hopefully won't like it, and that's the checking out phase as well. So the final section should be something, the final checking out part of the journey can of course still be a physical interaction if you so wish, but also as well, and certainly in light of COVID, both the check-in and the check-out process can change a lot now, really sort of virtually, making sure that people can sort of check out on a whim, all balances and bills taken care of and kind of keys taken care of and that kind of delivery as well. No need to have people lining up ready to move on and leave the building as well. So important as well to think about how that checkout process can be really seamless, and also with a nod to that as well, looking out for automation and systems that allow you to kind of have a cleaning dashboard. So when people go, the turnaround of rooms, making sure that they are ready as quickly as possible, where you can feed information about vacant rooms to your cleaners. They can report back when rooms are turned around. Obviously, that again has a upside for the guests in the sense that they can potentially get into the rooms earlier, and a revenue opportunity for you as well if you're able to sell kind of early check-in as well. Oh, still me. Okay. And then on to the guest review. So that au revoir is often should be just an au revoir, not a goodbye. And it's important as well that people can have the opportunity to talk and record their memorable stay with you in as many review platforms as they possibly can. Automation can really help here as well when people have left, whether it's kind of straight after they leave your property, in the couple of days afterwards, or certainly even a month afterwards, where you're seeking out that kind of validation of how much they enjoyed their stay, and of course that they're being able to give you those fantastic reviews that are related to how well they had their stay. Also as well, within those emails afterwards, you could potentially even send out some discount codes as well to encourage those guests to come back in the future. And just a stat there where I'll call out from Expedia, which I think is that one on the fourth line down. They say now that 83% of people will usually or always reference reviews before deciding to book a hotel. So just really, really key about how the collection of reviews is so important.
And TripAdvisor also did the same study and said that 96% of their customers said this was very important when booking a holiday.
Okay, so make sure you take every opportunity to collect those reviews as and when you can. And also as well, I will just do a call out here around review acknowledgement. Really important now that a lot of online travel agency partners are kind of having you review your guests in the round robin of that kind of guest ecosystem. So that's really, really important. And a recommendation as well, try to avoid those kind of boilerplate answers on reviews as well. So acknowledge them, but be selective. Pick out good ones, pick out bad ones, but don't do the same thing on every single review. It shows a little bit of roboticness, and obviously a guest's review, they want to see it acknowledged in a kind of personal way.
And as Lee said, it's never goodbye, because you always want your guests coming back for more. So why don't you send them a promotion? Automated email, of course, on the anniversary of their stay, or maybe you were able to collect their birthday date and send them a little, gift of a champagne when you arrive in our next on your next holiday with us. So just that really personal touch, and really with so little effort because it's all automated.
And remember, the end game here as well is that your guests could end up being your best referrers, your best advocates of bringing you repeat business as well. So make sure that you can engage guests with that follow-up practice, keeping in touch with them at all times. They will tell their friends, they will be your referrers, they will be your very own kind of personal sales team wherever they are in the globe.
So in the words of my favorite detective, Columbo, just one more thing. So there's no way we could leave the show without telling you about the eviivo mobile app, which we spent 9,000 man-hours developing automation in the palm of your hand. I mean, it's properly amazing. And this isn't just a lightweight interface of eviivo's suite. This is amazing tech. You can do notifications, whether it's a card decline, not that you'll have those anymore because you're using Payment Manager, but are you getting a booking? You can talk to housekeeping. You've got, what's the other thing? Oh yeah, rate changes, the most important thing. Automatically, while you're on the golf course, if you're out shopping, you can do all this on your mobile. And if you're multi-property, no issues at all.
Great, and then the proof for us, as Christa said about those 9,000 engineering man-hours, they've really worked for us. 75% of our customers now have downloaded our eviivo mobile app and are using it to manage their business on the go. And from the feedback we've got, we understand and we know that obviously a lot of people running businesses then don't want to be tied to the desk. You haven't always got a team of people around. So having that business touch point and the ability to organize in the palm of your hand has really helped with stress levels and work-life balance as well. So when you're thinking about technology to help your business, a truly integrated app to help across all of those platform and those online activities really is an important function to have in the palm of your hand.
So we talked a lot about automation. We probably don't want to take it as far as the Henna Hotel in Seoul, to be honest, but anyway, it's been such a pleasure being here today.